So, I recently underwent the very ambitious project of watching every single Looney Tunes Show episode and measuring every single interaction that each character shares with each other. Is anyone else curious by how many interactions Lola Bunny and Porky Pig had throughout the series? Well, I'm here to figure that out and share all that information with everyone here. I should note that I'm not tracking every single interaction/conversation in the show, only the show's central characters. So some random person that Daffy's trying to harass today is not going to be included in this survey. The characters I am keeping track of are Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, Porky Pig, Lola, Tina, Speedy Gonzales, Yosemite Sam, Granny, Sylvester, Tweety, Taz, Witch Hazel, Gossamer, the Gophers, Foghorn Leghorn, Pete the Puma, Marvin the Martian, and Elmo Fudd. So yeah, enough blabbering in this long intro. I'm gonna dive straight into my research and share my findings with you all. So the least surprising thing ever is that Bugs and Daffy both have by far the most interactions in the show. Daffy takes the cake though, with 795 total interactions, and Bugs with 708, which that was kind of surprising by how much Daffy was ahead of Bugs. Other characters like Pokey, Lola, Sam, and Speedy broke the 100 interactions mark. But overall, this just kind of shows that this show is really the Bugs and Daffy show, not the Looney Tunes show. Although to give Porky a shout out, he did have 321 interactions, which is by far the most among all the quote-unquote side characters. Collectively, I gathered 2,598 total interactions among all the characters in the Looney Tunes show who I tracked, and Bugs and Daffy were involved in 1,503 of them. I'm not very good at math, but that's a staggering 58% of the show's interactions involved Bugs or Daffy. Bugs and Daffy interact 338 times on the show, which is by far the most among any character-on-character interactions. But I want to come back to Bugs and Daffy here shortly. I want to go over some side character-on-side character interactions. Among the side characters, Porky and Speedy have the most interactions, interacting 19 times. Sylvester and Tweety interact 16 times, which is kind of an outlier because neither one of those characters interact with a lot of other characters. I'll have more on that later. Lola and Tina interact 13 times, and Lola and Porky interact 12 times. Those are the only side character on side character interactions that broke more than 10 interactions. A few weird takeaways I have is that Granny only ever interacts with both Tweety and Sylvester twice, which isn't that surprising when you watch the show, because Tweety and Sylvester are literally just like chasing each other throughout the entirety of the show. Neither one really says much to anyone outside of themselves. I mean, neither Sylvester or Tweety interact with Bugs or Daffy once throughout the entire show. Another one that's weird, Gossamer and Witch Hazel only have 2 genuine interactions. Now, there was multiple times where Witch Hazel is barking things out to Gossamer and referring to Gossamer, but they only ever actually have 2 conversations throughout the entire show, which is crazy. It's also quite clear that Bugs and Daffy's neighbors are not very friendly with each other. I mean, I don't blame people for not wanting to talk to him, but Yosemite Sam does not interact with Granny once in the show, and only ever interacts with Witch Hazel once, and each Gossamer and Speedy twice. I mean, Speedy Gonzales never once interacts with Gossamer, Witch Hazel, or Granny. I mean, despite having the 5th most interactions on the entire show, the only characters that Speedy ever interacts with on camera are Bugs, Daffy, Porky, Lola, and Yosemite Sam. I mean, Speedy and Tina never even once spoke. Foghorn Leghorn is an interesting one. He's got the 7th most interactions on the show, behind Tina and in front of Gossamer. However, 40 of his 46 interactions are with Daffy, showing that he's really only associated with the show when Daffy's around. I also find it super interesting that despite being the 2 most central people in Daffy's life outside of Bugs, Tina and Porky only ever interact on screen 4 times. Most of that was in one episode where Daffy forced Porky to be the server on a date between Tina and Daffy. Tina was very nice to Porky, unlike Daffy. Let's expand into Porky a little bit, since he is the side character with by far the most interactions on the show. Now, the characters Porky interacts with by far the most of both Bugs and Daffy, but I don't want to spoil that one quite yet, because I'm going to circle back around to Bugs and Daffy and compare the interactions together. Porky at some time or another interacts with pretty much every character on the show. Doesn't have any interactions with Sylvester and Tweety, which is surprising. It is a little surprising that he doesn't have any interactions with Witch Hazel or Gossamer. It's also kind of insane with Porky being the character with the 3rd most interactions, the huge separation he has between 4th, which is Lola. Porky has 321 total interactions, Lola has 179. Porky also gradually becomes a more and more central character in the show, as in the first season he appears in 18 of 26 episodes.
and in the second season he appears in 22 of 26 episodes. Now I want to finally dive into the Bugs vs Daffy interactions. So just as a reminder from earlier, Daffy does have more interactions with Bugs, having 795 compared to Bugs' 708. The side characters that Bugs interacts with more than Daffy are Taz, Yosemite Sam, Speedy Gonzales, and Lola, but Daffy isn't really too far off on some of those numbers. One in particular that stands out to me is how much Daffy interacts with Bugs' girlfriend Lola, interacting 27 times, compared to how many times Bugs interacts with Daffy's girlfriend Tina, only 4 times. Now, to be fair, Lola's a way more focal point in the show than Tina is. I mean, Lola has 179 interactions and Tina only has 81, and a good block of Tina's interactions are with Daffy. I mean, 58 of them are with him. Now, on the opposite end of this, Daffy has more interactions with Porky, Tina, Granny, Witch Hazer, Gossamer, the Gophers, Foghorn Leghorn, Pete the Puma, Marvin the Martian, and Elmer Fudd. I do find it kind of hilarious how Witch Hazer always tried to keep Gossamer away from Daffy, and yet Daffy interacted with Gossamer 28 times compared to only with Bugs 7 times. And heck, Witch Hazer interacted with Daffy 16 times compared to only Bugs 8 times. I mean, you know, not all the interactions were pleasant, but she did interact with him a whole lot for dating the guy. Porky also stands out. As noted in the graph, Daffy interacts with Porky 168 times, whereas Bugs interacts with Porky 110 times. It really didn't feel like there was that much separation between the two on the show, but Daffy and Porky did go on a lot of their own little adventures together.
Well, thank you so much everyone for watching, and I am going to find a place to post my complete resets, probably on Reddit or something, so I'll have that up pretty shortly. But thank you for everyone for watching, and please provide feedback. Let me know what you think. I do want to get into more videos like this, but let me know how you feel about the format and the way the video is executed. Thank you so much, and don't forget to like and subscribe.